Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this myExams prep workshop. So today we will be having one of our sessions where we will go through focusing mostly on the proctoring tools, but we will go through all the steps that you need to take to really prepare for your exam. So as you can see, we broke it down into 3 steps. So the first one is preparing, testing out the proctoring tools, setting it up, finding out exactly which one you will be using. And then we will later go to the second step, is how do you actually access the exams portal. So for you that have written exams in the past, you might know already you are not writing on myModules. It's a separate portal, and each college actually has their separate portal for the exams to ensure stability across the system. And then thirdly, we're going to look at how do you actually get support during the exams. Maybe that you have some profile errors. Who do you contact? Or maybe you're a student with a disability. How do you apply for special exams? So as you can see, this is quite a big program that we have to work through, and we're going to try and, how can I say, do it as speedily as possible, but ensure that you get all the correct information. So in the chat, please make use of the chat to post your questions. Do not share any personal information. Remember the POPI Act. We will have to unfortunately disable the chats if personal information is shared, but you can ask all your questions within the chat. And then as well, tonight we also have multiple colleagues that will be assisting out. We actually have Ms. Bidla from student support, so she will be able to assist you on those aspects. And then you have me and David. So we are from the Academic Development Open Virtual Hub, and our main focus is to ensure that you've got the correct information to participate in your exam successfully. Unfortunately, we will not be able to assist with any student admin related queries such as payments or registration for modules, but we are here to assist you with the tools that you will use for your examinations. Now in the chat, we have posted the pre-course assessment. Please complete the pre-course assessment. This really helps us and you to understand what is your understanding of the proctoring tools and the online examinations before the workshop. After the workshop, we will post a post-assessment which you can complete to see actually the knowledge you gained, but it's also for us to see perhaps where there is some gaps and perhaps areas that we need to focus on in the future. Now, very importantly, the first thing you need to do is access the Open myExams support site. So this is a site that is available to you right throughout the year. It's actually available to anybody from the public as well. And this is to really the site that you will go through to ensure you've got all the latest information. And it's also where the mock exams are, so you can actually test your setups. Because remember, we want you to get through this technical, how can I say, aspects first of setting up so that you can really just focus on studying your module content for your examinations. So on the screen, I have the short URL that you can use, but I will also take you through the steps of accessing the site from your browser. So let me just quickly open up my browser on this side. So this is actually on the My Student Skills Hub. Browser, there we go. It's running all around here. So I'm going to take you from the beginning. So you'll notice here at the top, it says My Student Skills Hub. And if you actually search for My Student Skills Hub in your browser, it will open up the correct site for you. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like so you know exactly which platform we are using. So if you click on this one, My Student Skills Hub, it's the first result. And you'll notice there's quite a few courses on here. So this is the platform where we release a lot of the co-curricular activities. So a lot of these courses that you do on here, you can actually complete them online and you can get a transcription at the end of the year to say all the co-curricular activities we've completed. So there's some on AI, on mobile, and also HeardTech. But the one that we're going to be focusing on is this one, getting ready for your exams. Now note, you need to sign in to access this site. So the first time you access it, you will need to log in. Make sure that you are able to log into the site. You use your myUNISA password and your myLife email address. Now, if you are unable to log in here, that means there's a proof of your profile. That means you will also not be able to log in to the actual exam portals. As I mentioned, it's on separate portals and you will need to sign in. But luckily, you can do that quite early on before your exam. So if there's any problems, you have time to work on it. So the first time you access this portal, you'll notice here you need to click on the Enroll Me button, very importantly. So you don't need to do anything else. You just sign in and then click on the Enroll Me button. And this will take you to the basic skills for online exams site. I'm just waiting for it to quickly load. I think there's quite a lot of students this evening on the site. But hopefully we will be able to not bring it down like we did on Saturday. It was quite fun. But ICT is luckily on our working in the background to really upgrade this so that we don't have any problems in the future. Now, also note this site, as I mentioned, it's where you can get the latest information. One of the main tools on this platform is the module lookup tool to see exactly what proctoring tool you will be using for your module. We will go through that as well. Now, this course is set out to really take you step by step. So you'll start from lesson 1, navigating the myExams portal. It gives you exact steps how to access the portal and how to log in. Then we look at what is the assessment types. You might already have noticed on your exams timetable, it's either MCQ or take home, and we will cover exactly what that means. And then we cover also the proctoring tools. That's very important that we will focus on mainly because we want you to do the mock exams, set up the proctoring tool to make sure everything is working before your exams. Then we've got additional modules as well to support you, the academic integrity, online assessment skills, and also support with students with disabilities or special needs. And then lastly, very importantly, we will also look at the mock exams where you can actually go test out your setup. And it's been set up to mimic the exams as closely as possible so you know exactly what to expect on the examinations. So this site, please work through all the modules. You'll notice here is also the pre-course assessment survey that we've posted online so that you can have a good understanding beforehand. And then as you work through, there's also a post-course assessment. And if you want to claim this as a co-curricular activity, remember to complete the final course quiz as well. Now, as you start getting ready for your examinations, one of the requirements is still that you need to have a My Modules profile picture. So hopefully all of you have uploaded a profile picture already. That is a requirement that you have to do this on My Modules. But later on, we'll show you as well, when you get to the exams portal, your photo won't be there. Now, that is actually how it should be because they draw the picture from My Modules and it does not display on myExams. It's used by the Moodle proctoring tool to verify that it is you that's writing the examination. But we will show you the steps to set up a profile picture if you have not. And then secondly is the exam proctoring lookup tool. So on your exam timetables, you might have already seen which proctoring tools you'll be using, but you can use the exams proctoring lookup tool as well, just to verify which tools you'll be using. And remember, you only focus on the ones that you will be using. So if you're not going to be using Iris, don't go and do the Iris mock exams. You don't need to. You just focus really on the ones that you were using. And always remember, only one proctoring tool will be used per examination. So you won't have, for instance, Moodle and the Invigilator app, or Iris and the Invigilator app. It will only be one of them for your module. Now, to set up your profile picture is very easy. You log into My Modules. So remember, this is not on the exams portal. You do this on My Modules. You click on your username, then you click on Profile, and then you click on Edit Profile. So the Edit Profile is these days a big yellow button, so it's, you can't miss it. And then you scroll down on the user profile to the user picture. So you can upload a GIF, JPEG, or PNG image. So you can take a photo even with your cell phone and upload. Just be careful if you do take a photo with your phone, rather take it in landscape, not in portrait, because it does tend to, in portrait photos, to turn them on the side. But you can always, if you have a portrait photo, just crop it into a square, and then it should not rotate the image when you upload it. So this is just one of those little quirks that's in the system. But if you really struggle, you know, you can't get your photo to stay upright, you can just leave it as it is. So don't worry too much about that aspect. But as long as you've got a photo where your face is clearly visible. So David, that's here, he will later tell you you're all beautiful enough, ladies, so you don't need to do your hair and all of that. Just take a photo to upload there that shows your face, so that it can be used for the proctoring tools. Now, secondly, is what proctoring tool will you use? It's very important to know. So hopefully you all know already what proctoring tool you'll be using for your exams. So please write it in the chat if you know exactly which ones you'll be using, so that we've got a good idea on which tools we should focus tonight a little bit more. So while you do that, I'm just going to show for everybody else how do you actually look at what proctoring tool you will be using. So on the exams site, if you go under proctoring tools, so this is lesson 3, there is this one where you can ask what proctoring tool will my module use. I also want to highlight here, if you have not uploaded your profile picture yet, there is also a step-by-step guide on here that takes you with a short video that takes you through the steps of exactly how you should be uploading your profile picture. While this one is loading, we're just going to wait for the other one to also start loading. So remember, profile picture first, only on My Modules. Secondly, come and have a look what proctoring tool you will be using. And the proctoring tool works very easily. All you need to do is type in your module code, and it actually gives you a link as well to the correct module, so you know exactly what to learn for that specific proctoring tool. Let me just see here in the chat. How many? What are the people saying, David? No responses yet on what proctoring tools they will be using. So everybody doesn't know.
Yeah, no, sorry.
We're in the same venue.
Right, let me just mute myself. Okay, there we go. So yes, I see a lot of people are saying invigilating app, there's Moodle, there's Iris, there is a pillow. Okay, that you can't use, guys. You're writing an exam, you can't go sleep. Moodle, okay, Moodle proctoring, yes. Oh no, pretty much all the different tools are actually being covered here. So I think we're good to go.
Thanks, David. So yes, just highlight under lesson 3, uploading your My Modules profile picture. All of them are available. All the steps are available here. You'll notice here is the big yellow button to edit your profile, and then also to look up your proctoring tool. So most of you already know. So all you need to do here is, if you are still a bit uncertain about the specific module, you can just come here and type in the module code, and it will pop up and tell you exactly which proctoring tool you'll be using. So for instance, this MAT 1613 uses Iris proctoring, and that basically just, if you're using that, you can just click on the link and it will open up Iris proctoring, so you can access the material very, very quickly. Let me quickly share the link as well. I see there's somebody asking, where do we access this tool? I'll give you the direct link to the lookup tool. So you can just click on there and actually come and type in your modules as we go along so that you know exactly which sections to focus on in this workshop. Go. Oh, yeah, the chat is a bit slow because everybody is posting. That's good news that everybody knows already. So David, you'll have to really dig deep into Invigilator app. I see a lot of them this evening.
Cool, I'll do that.
So just a quick reminder on required devices. So preferably if you're going to be using, for instance, Moodle proctoring or the Invigilator app, where you can use your mobile, preferably not older than 5 years. Make sure it's got the latest updates, that it's got access to the internet, and very importantly, that it also has space for the proctoring apps. So especially the Invigilator app, it saves the photos that it takes during the session locally and the audio that it's recording. So just back up some of your material that's on the phone so you have that additional space. And then very importantly, with Invigilator app, you do need a working camera, microphone, and sound. With Moodle proctoring, you just need a working camera. Now, the same is for your desktop or laptop. This is especially important for the people that's using iris invigilation because it only works on a desktop or laptop. And for this, you also need at least, Windows 10 and up. You need access to the internet. The device you're using should be able to run Microsoft Office, productivity tools very easily. And you should have the latest updated browser for either Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge, because those are the two tools that's browsers that's supported. Now, very important for iris, you need a working camera, microphones, and sound. If you are doing Moodle proctoring, you just need a working camera. So let's look at the different proctoring tools that is being used within the institution. So the first one is Moodle proctoring. That's for MCQ exams. We will cover exactly what MCQs is a bit later, and you'll see it's actually very easy. It's the quiz tool that you've used before. The same is with the Invigilator app. It's only used for take-home exams. That is basically the assignments tool. That means it's a written exam where you have to type out or write on a piece of paper. And then the last one is iris invigilation. That's used for both MCQ and take-home exams. So this one is only used by the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, that's CSET. And it's also used by CTA students in accounting, but it's only used for the CTA tests that they do at the end of their modules. But for these exams, you basically, if you're not in the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, you will either use Moodle or Invigilator app. If you're in the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, you will use iris for both type of examinations. So the first one we're going to look at is Moodle proctoring. This is the easiest one there is. There's no setup. All you need to do is basically make sure that you've got a working camera on your device. So it can be either a webcam or a front-facing camera on your phone. It doesn't matter which device you use. You can either use a mobile device or a laptop. Now, a lot of people think this one records you. It does not record you. It does not record audio. It basically just takes a random picture of you now and again. So every about 20 seconds, 30 seconds. And this is why it's important to upload your picture to my modules, because they actually compare to that with AI to make sure it is actually you. So this is the main objective of this proctoring, is to make sure that it's you writing the assessment. So let's have a look quickly at how does this work. So if I open up the myExams site, so we're basically under lesson 3, Moodle proctoring. I will also share the link to the Moodle proctoring so you can access it directly as well. Just wait for it quickly to load. Now, as I mentioned with this one, you don't need to set up anything. Everything is been, how can I say, it works with any device. All the browsers are generally supported, but preferably using Microsoft Edge or Chrome. Firefox is also a good alternative, but some of these, when they develop these tools, they develop it for the more popular browsers. So I would always say use Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge so that it will work on that type of browser. Now, as we mentioned, this one is an MCQ, is basically a quiz. So if you have done a multiple choice already for an assignment, it will work exactly the same with a few differences, and that we will show you in the mock exam. Now, you'll notice when you access this, it will actually have this message. To continue with this quiz attempt, you must open your webcam, and it will take some of your pictures randomly during the quiz. So as we mentioned, only takes pictures and at random times. Otherwise, it will look exactly like a normal quiz where you just start the attempt quiz. Now, a pop-up will appear, so you do need to allow your camera. Unfortunately, this is one of the requirements you need to do. If you accidentally click block, you will have to go in your browser and allow it again for the website, else you will not be able to continue. So from there, you basically just click on attempt quiz. You agree to the validation process. You need to click this button to be able to click on start attempt. And from there, you work through all the questions sequentially. Now, what do we mean by sequentially? You answer the question, go to the next one, because you will not be able to necessarily go back to the previous question. And the questions are also randomized. So don't try. I know sometimes, when we start exam, we just want to see quickly what is all the questions, what are the easiest ones I can answer. Unfortunately, you will have to answer the question before continuing to the next one. Now, as we mentioned, all of them at the bottom has a mock exam, and I would really recommend go and do these mock exams as soon as possible. We made them as well that you can do them multiple times so that you can really make sure everything is working. Now, remember, for these mock exams, you will also need to just click on Enroll Me to access the site. You don't need to do anything else on your part. And this will actually then list it also under your My Courses when you're logged in. So you can have quick access to all of these courses that you are enrolled in. And it will also show you the progress that you've made throughout these courses so that you can always continue with them where you left off. Now, as we mentioned, this tool only takes pictures. So how do they actually make sure that no academic dishonesty takes place? Well, it's actually very simple. They actually randomize the questions, so you and somebody else will not get the same questions. They actually take it from a very big batch. So you and somebody else might not even have one question in common because it's from such a big batch of questions. The second way is that you have to do it sequentially. So that means you can't go back. Somebody says, oh, I got for question 3, I did that one. So you can't go back and say, oh, I want to now change my answer. That will most likely be the wrong one anyway. So that's the one thing about WhatsApp groups. Watch out what they share on there. It's usually the incorrect answer. So rather just go for your material and prepare for it. Now, as we mentioned, you will get this pop-up. We need to allow the camera. Now, if you use a mobile, this will be nice big in the center of the screen as well. So on both devices, you will need to click allow. So the nice thing about quizzes and Moodle proctoring, you can use any device. It can be your mobile phone, laptop, desktop. You can use that device as long as it's got a camera. Now, not like the other tools that we're going to be using where you will need to use different types of one. So yeah, it will first look at the camera that is being used. I just quickly want to click here on the settings. I see it's using a different camera for some reason. Let me just see here what camera is being used. So remember, as I went now, this is what you basically will need to do if you accidentally clicked on block, then you will need to go back and actually say which camera it should be using. So, okay, I'm just going to click that one. And now I can go back to our assessment. So let me just go back here. We've got our camera. I'm going to click on attempt quiz. Still, unfortunately, using the other one, so you won't be able to see me. So I might be an AI at the back of this, unfortunately, but it's using my webcam for some reason. Let me just see if I refresh this page, if it won't actually show my webcam. So yes, just make sure if you've got multiple cameras, you should be able to select in your browser which camera should be used. But usually it's your default camera that you use. This is a new browser I actually set up for today, and that's why it's using now one of the other network cameras. So there you can see me. So you can see I'm not an AI yet, still here to help you in person. We're actually here at the Makonia campus tonight. We're in the Kochorong building, overlooking Pretoria at the event. So yeah, as I mentioned, you need to click on the agree with the validation process, and then you will be able to click on the start attempt. So you'll notice here I can't click on the start attempt because I unfortunately need to agree to that button, tick the box, and then I can click on start attempt. Now this mock exam that we created here is very easy. It's set up the way they do the examinations as well. So you'll notice on this, you will see your camera here at the bottom right, but you can actually close this down as well. You don't need to have this open. Now, one thing that we have had from students previously is that after a while, this goes black, for instance. So that might be, the browser that you're using or it's running out of memory, but you don't need to worry about it. As long as it shows when you click on start attempt, you can actually close this down and not worry about whether the camera is showing or not. It will be running throughout the session. Another thing, especially if you're using a laptop, a lot of students come, oh, I'm just seeing black. And then what is it? It's the privacy slider on your laptop. So most laptops come out with a privacy slider these days over the camera. So just make sure you can unslide that so you can actually see the picture. A good way to test it out is always to use the camera tool on Windows. There's camera tools on your device as well, like Android or Mac OS, just to make sure that your camera is working. And from there, once you confirm that, then you should know that it should work here. So as we mentioned, this MCQ exam has been set up so you get random questions. You click the question, you click the answer, and then you click next. So you'll notice, unlike the assignments, you won't be able to click on one again to go back. You need to click each question and then click next to proceed to the next one. Now, also something to note here, you'll have the time as well, but say something happens and you lose connectivity. Load shedding usually comes during the exam period for some reason. I hope this year it's a bit different, but say you hit with load shedding, you lose your connectivity. Now you perhaps need to jump to a new device. Luckily, all of your answers are saved. Your progress is saved as you work through the questions. So you just log back in on a new device and you continue where you left off. And it's up. If you're unable, say it's more or less almost towards the end, you lose connectivity and don't have enough time, everything you have answered will actually be submitted automatically. So you don't have to worry about that. So remember, it will remember your progress. And if you're unable to log back in, it will submit everything that you have submitted automatically for you. So I'm just also answering these questions very randomly. So I know a lot of you say, no, that's an incorrect one. But I just want to show you right towards the end what it actually looks like for this type of assessment. So I'm just going to wait for the last one here. I've finished my attempt. Now, just as any other quizzes, you don't need to do anything else with the proctoring, the Moodle proctoring. It will just go through by itself. You'll get this final screen to say, okay, you've answered all the questions. If you usually you can go back, but this one will actually stop you from going forward if you have not answered it. And then you can just click on the submit or finish button right at the bottom. But as I mentioned, if you don't do this, submit all or finish and click again on the pop-up, it will automatically submit everything when it's reached the time for the due time, basically for submission. So always with this tool, what I can also recommend, if you go to the website, say to this mock exam, say the main page, log in 15 minutes before your exam and then refresh the page until it's available for you to start your assessment. So this one generally opens up on the specified time because it's not like the take home where you need to download your question paper and all of that. But just remember to refresh the page. It will not automatically just unlock on your side. You need to refresh the page to make sure then it will show you it's open and you continue with your assessment. So that's how easy it is to use the Moodle proctoring. And so for all of you that's only using Moodle proctoring, I would say you're probably the luckiest ones because it's the easiest one to use. And now we're going to get to the take-home exams for Iris Invigilation. Not Iris Invigilation, Invigilator app. Unfortunately, as he said, you'll have to wait a bit longer. So we'll hand over to David that will take you through the Invigilator app, how you set it up and how you do the mock exam as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Richard. So, yep, there we go, guys. So Moodle proctoring, nice and easy. Okay, so let's now get to the really fun one called the Invigilating app. And I see quite a few questions coming in. So I see you guys are having access to the demo for Invigilating app, which is great because that's really where you want to be and you can install the app. But I'm going to cover everything. So if you just pay attention and follow along, you guys will be able to see how this whole setup is going to work with this app, and I'll explain it to you. So the guys that are raising their hands, just use the chat, post the questions there, and then hopefully we can answer those questions as well. Okay, so Invigilating app, guys, is about the take-home exams, very similar to your assignments setup in terms of writing up an answer, then submitting it. So you are going to download this app on your smartphone, so not on your laptop, only on your smartphone. So that's really, really important to know. The prompts are going to take pictures at random times. So the good news is we're going to allow you to access the demo, which means it's only about 8 minutes and it's going to run through all the prompts that you're going to be expected to do. In other words, taking a selfie or a picture of your ID card or student card, a picture of the surrounding area on your table, that type of thing. So that really allows you then to sort of get the hang of it, to do it very quickly, and also how to scan in your script. So we're going to cover that as we go along. You're going to need to load your script, guys. This is very important on the Invigilating app itself, as well as the myExams portal. So take note with Invigilating app, this guy, the owl with the big glasses, you're going to do it on the app itself. You're going to be able to do it with your demo just to get that feel, see how easy it is to do. But for your exam as well, guys, you're going to need to upload it on the myExams portal. So the same place you download your exam paper is the same place you're going to upload the second part of the upload process. So there's 2 parts that we're going to cover. Then there is a WhatsApp number, but only for messaging, no calling, guys. So here is the WhatsApp number. We will share it in the chat as well. So please do capture this, save this, especially if you're going to use the Invigilating app. It's a critical support function that you can use. If your email address is not yet recognized by the university, if you're getting that error message, you just need to check when is your exam date, and 2 weeks and closer to that exam date, you can then try again to see if you can actually get into the app itself. The students who joined us on Saturday did indicate they could actually access the app already. So it is being rolled out very quickly. So you must just please keep checking as well.
Okay, so how does it work? Well, students, guys, this is only for exams that are 4 hours and less. So please do check your module, check the information provided by your lecturer, because by now the guidelines, everything that you need to know should have been shared with you. So it does make it a little bit easier. And of course, as Richard showed you, you can use the proctoring lookup tool just to confirm which apps you need to use. So that's really, really important. Also, please make sure your device is updated. You'll be surprised how many times this causes issues. If it's your browser, or most likely, okay, that's for Moodle proctoring, but your operating system, make sure that is up to date as well. So go to your nearest campus, use the free Wi-Fi, and use the data on the campus to actually update any of and all of your devices, guys. So that's just a rule of thumb when you come to writing exams. So how does it work? So there is 2 different ways, and I did see a question already came through with regards to this. So writing an exam with 2 devices, that's actually the best setup. In other words, you've got myExams, that's on your laptop, your PC, or your tablet. And then the Invigilating app sits just on your smartphone. So that is brilliant. That is the ideal setup. If you don't have those options and you've only got a smartphone, then you're going to do everything on the smartphone, which means you're just going to practice a little bit more just to get a feel for how's it going to work. So these are the 2 options. Right, so how does the setup work? As I said, up to 2 weeks to 72 hours before your exam, hopefully before 72, that's 3 days, you should be having access to the app. So please keep trying, but please just double check that you are indeed using the Invigilating app. Otherwise, there's no need to install it, guys, if you don't use it. But please just keep checking, but it'll definitely go through probably around about 2 weeks before your exam, but keep trying. Then there's a few little steps that you're going to follow the very first time, just to make sure that the setup of your device is working, that all the components that it needs is working perfectly, so that you've got opportunity to get another device if indeed your device is not working properly. And then, of course, we've got the demo, and that's what you have to try it out. I know a lot of you guys say, well, I'm doing scans, but it's not coming to an end. It means you're missing a step. How do we end the scan once we're done? And I'm going to cover that now. But also, how quickly can I take pictures of my laptop screen or the written document? And it's something you can just practice, but make sure the images are as clear as possible. That's something very important, because if it's not clear, they're not going to be able to mark your work. Remember, because this script on the Invigilating app is going to be compared to the script that you upload on myExams, and they must be identical. So make sure the images are as clear as possible. Okay, so how does it all work? So first thing is you're going to download the app. So make sure when you look up Invigilating app, it's this little L with these seriously big glasses. So make sure you've got the right app, okay? There are other Invigilating apps, some similar sort of names, which are not the one. So look for the L, that will help you. When you get to the very first screen, it's going to look like this. You're not going to sign in Google, guys. You are simply going to say, I don't have an account. Don't have an account, you'll click on the button, and then it's going to say register as a student. Please select UNISA, type your student number without any spaces. First name, last name, it's your surname. Your email address must be your MyLife email address. That's absolutely critical. Your mobile number, and then you're going to create yourself a password. So that's also important to remember. Ideally, what I suggest to students, because you know your myUNISA password by now, I'm sure, maybe use the same password as your myUNISA password, because then it's just easier to remember. It's just your student number and that password, and you're in. Right, so once you complete all this information, you're going to click on the button, and then it's going to say to you, okay, we need to confirm your account. So please go check your MyLife email account, because remember, that's where it's going to send the code to. Check for that code, it'll look something like this. You'll get a code, you'll type it in, and then it'll say you have to accept the terms and conditions. So it's a once-off thing that you need to do, very quick to do, and once you've accepted it, it's going to say welcome. Now we're going to do a quick setup check to make sure your device is compatible with the Invigilating app. Great. So then you click continue, and the very first thing it's going to say to you is, I want to be able to access your music, your video activities, okay? Your library basically, and you're going to need to say allow. Okay, you don't really have a choice on that one actually, so you're going to say allow. Then it's going to say, okay, fine. Now that we've got access to this hardware of your phone, we're going to run through some checks, and we're going to just go systematically, step by step, through the setup. So the first thing it's going to say to you, right, let's quickly do a selfie check. So it's going to use your front side of your camera, and it's going to want you to do a selfie. So you just click continue. It's going to say, attention, we're going to do it now. Great, click continue. You'll put your face inside this little white little thingy-mabobbin boundary, all right, where the L is. That's kind of where your face needs to be. And then you'll see at the bottom of the screen, there is a little button to take the picture. So you're just going to zap it, and then it will go through. Okay, so nice and easy like that. Once you hit that button, it's then going to say, okay, great. So we've tested that. Let's now test the next thing, the photo. So you can use your student card, your ID, you must have one or the other, or your passport, guys, so official document, you're going to need that. But for this practice one, you just can use a student card, it's fine. And you're going to take a picture of it, right? Again, you're going to zap that button, and then it's going to say, fine, done. Then the next check it's going to do, it says we're going to just do a quick scan just of a document, any document, totally up to you. Great, tutorial letter, you can use it. Click on start. Put your camera over, you'll sort of get that scan like you're taking a normal scan with any other device. So it'll try and pick up the document there. You can see it sort of loading it there. It does say please remain steady when you take a scan, but you kind of get used to it. Click on the button once it's done, and then that's it, done. Then it's going to move on to the next one. And it says, okay, you've done all these checks. Now we want to check the microphone. So you're going to say, fine, click on start. And then it's going to make this very loud ping noise. Okay, so if you're half awake, you're going to be very much awake after that. So you can click on the test sound button a few times just so you get the hang of the ping noise if you really want to. But it's very important that you hear that sound. So if it's no, then you've got a problem with your device. So check the volume, make sure it's loud enough. But it should be yes, and then you're going to click on yes. So now that little ping is going to remind you what to do. Then the next thing it's going to tell you is, remember, this is just the setup. You do it once off, eh? So don't worry, you're not going to do this every time. Then it's going to say to you, we need to do a master photo. In other words, this is the photo that's going to stay with the app that it's going to use to confirm that it's you writing the exam. So make sure you've got a nice picture. Don't worry about hair, makeup, and all that type of thing, guys. If you're wearing glasses, that's also fine. So yeah, just make sure you look nice, neat, tidy, take a nice picture, and that will be your master photo. If by whatever reason you take the master photo and it comes out really bad, okay, it does happen, then please just use that WhatsApp chat number that I shared with you, and I'll share it again in the chat, and Richard will also, while he's trying to eat supper, then we will just quickly post that there. Then you ask them to remove it, and you'll have to re-add it again. Okay, so it's not train smash if you do make a boo-boo, but make sure it's ready before you do your exam. And so once you've done the master photo, that's the pre-check done. It's a once-off process. Once you've got this in order, now it's the time to actually have a look at the app itself. So now it's going to be showing you this screen, which basically says, okay, I'm ready to start. Give me something to do. So what are we going to do? We're going to start an assessment. So I'm going to click on start. It's going to pop up this nice little window. It's going to say, can you scan a QR code, or can you enter the code itself? Because remember, with the QR code, you'll see they always give you the code itself at the bottom of the QR code itself. So even with your exams, if you're quicker with typing or you want to scan it in, either way, it doesn't matter, you'll be able to do this. This QR code that you're seeing here, guys, is on our practice mock exam for the Invigilating apps. I'll still show you where that is. So once you do have access to the app, come and do the demo. Do it a few times, you'll see that, okay, this is how it behaves, and then it gets a bit easier from there. Once you stand in the QR code, it's going to confirm. So you'll see this chap here is Richard, and it's just going to say, is this you? Okay, so in other words, please confirm that this is your account, that you're not using somebody else's account, because there's the master photo. So you click on yes. Then it says to you, okay, you're about to do the demo, because remember we gave the QR code for the demo. And it says, okay, we're about to start. You can hit the test sound button again just to hear that bing noise. But if everything's good to go, then you can click on start. Part of this little demo, guys, you are going to do a script upload process, okay, which is critical for your exam, because if you can get this right and you get to feel how it works, then you won't have too much stress when you actually have to do it yourself. So let's have a look and see how does this work. So please do not leave the app. That's very, very important. Okay, so don't close the app and do any other things. You can put it onto flight mode because once the app starts, you don't need internet connection. So that's fine. But at the end, you're going to have to switch it on again so that it can do all the updates and whatnot. Okay, so just take note of that, but don't close the app. So put on flight mode so nobody can call you. Just ignore the phone calls, but ideally just put on flight mode. And then just make sure your phone doesn't go to sleep mode. So it means you must remove that setting, guys, just for your exam period. What will happen is when you're doing these selfies and taking pictures and whatnot during the demo, you're going to see them actually popping up here. So you can actually see the quality of the picture and you can actually see that, okay, this is how it's actually saving these images. So let me show you how does it look. For example, when it asks you to take a photo of your ID document, because that's going to tell you, or your student card, you're going to click continue, and then you're going to do your card. You're going to point at it. You're going to hit the button, and it'll take a picture. Same with your selfie. It's going to pop up this message. It's going to say, please take a selfie. You're going to say, okay, no problem. Click on continue, put it at your face. Again, hit the button at the bottom, and it's going to capture your picture. So you'll actually see the images will start popping up like this now. Okay, so you can actually see it. So please make sure you don't miss these pings, because if you miss too many of them, then you're automatically going to kind of be boo-booed in the exam. So yeah, so here's a question that always comes up. What happens if I need to go to the toilet? The good idea is, guys, take the phone with you, okay? Don't worry, it's not going to record any non-human sounds like voice. I'm only referring to voice at the minute. So it only records voice, right? It doesn't record other noises. So don't worry about when you go to the toilet. You can actually still take it with you because you don't want to miss these little guys that are kind of compulsory. Right, then at the end of the exam, it's going to give you about 10 minutes, so it's a nice little practice, to upload your script. So even if you've written it down or you've got it on your screen, not a problem. What you're going to do now is you're going to practice that process to make sure that I can do good quality pictures and I can do them quite quickly. Because, yeah, in the beginning, it will take you a few seconds, but once you get the hang of it, you can do 20 pages in very quick time, and it comes up beautifully. It's just a matter of practice. Okay, so before you start, make sure your lighting in your room is very good, okay? Because obviously you want your camera to have the best quality it can have, so that when you take the pictures that it's not blurry or it's too dark. So yeah, so that's very, very important to remember. Then you're going to put your pictures. Okay, we use the same one over here. You can scan it. You can hit the button, scan another one and another one and another one. But when you're done, you're going to hit the done button, right? And then it's going to stop at the scanning process that you were busy doing. So if you do 10 pages, you'll see done in brackets 10. Then once you're done, you hit the done button, and then it's going to convert it to a PDF for you, which is great because that does a lot of the work for you already. So once you hit the PDF, then you can actually upload it onto the Invigilating app because it's all within the app itself, which makes it really, really easy. Then what you can do is once you've done that, you'll see there's an option for you to actually share the document. So before you even get to this step, oh, there it is over there. So once you get to the step, it's going to confirm. Sorry, it's first going to confirm. Do you want to upload? You say yes, and then it gives you a reference number, right? So it's a good idea. Do a screen grab that reference number. Then, as I was saying, before you close and go back to the dashboard, click on the share PDF option. And then you tell it to send it to your email address. So in that way, you've already got the PDF scanned and ready to be uploaded onto the myExams platform. So that will make it easier for you guys. So go practice this option. Doesn't matter if it sends you to your Gmail account, it's perfectly fine. On your laptop, you go to your Gmail, you download it, you go back to myExams, go to the location, you upload the PDF, because then this file will be exactly the same as the file that you've just uploaded on the Invigilating app. So go and practice this. okay, in the demo. So just remember, guys, and we always tell you this, please make sure your 2 things you need to upload. The first one is on the Invigilating app, which I've just showed you. The second one is on myExams. So the same place you download it is the same place you're going to upload your script. But as I just showed you, go and practice the share it to your Gmail, it's perfectly fine, or your Outlook, it's fine. Be able to download it and then upload it again, because that will make a huge difference in practicing for your actual exam. Great. The next question that always comes up, the time element. How does this work, David, in terms of time? Okay, so how does it work? Before the start time of your exam. So if your exam starts at 9 o'clock, at 8:45, the exam portal will be open. You can really log into it, but the site won't be accessible. But now the site will be accessible. You'll be able to download your question paper. And inside the question paper, the very first thing you're probably going to see is the QR code that you're going to need. Perfect. Click on Start Invigilating app on your phone, obviously. You log into it. You click on the Start button. You point it at the QR code or you type it in and you hit Start. Okay. 9 o'clock. Let's pretend it's 9 o'clock. 30 minutes after the 9 o'clock, so 9:30. If you haven't done the QR code, the process is then going to close. Unfortunately, then you're out of the exam. Okay, you've missed the opportunity. So take note of that. Make sure the app keeps running, as we said in the demo, exactly the same for the actual exam. Then at the end of the exam, right, you're going to be given 10 minutes to upload on the Invigilating app. This is where your practice comes in. So when you've done that demo and you've practiced scanning 10 or 20 pages, you'll see that that skill you've learned there is going to help you a big time over here. Once you've completed, you've uploaded, it's finished, you've shared the PDF to yourself, you go to myExams, maybe there you've got 30 minutes from the end. You need to be able to upload it onto myExams as well. So it's very important to get that invigilating upload done first, then you've still got time to do it on myExams, which is much quicker to do. That is the breakdown of how the time works, guys. So you need to stick to this, practice it. If it's 3 hours, 4 hours, the same applies. So just take note of the time that you've got available. Don't use the after exam time to actually be answering questions, guys, because then it means you're running a bigger risk of not being able to submit both of the requirements in terms of Invigilating app and myExams. Great. And that is the technical support number. Keep this number very handy. Make sure it's on WhatsApp. Make sure you can access it. Okay, so if you've got any issues, then this is the number to go through. And they do respond quite quickly. Richard myself has tested it many, many times just to give them a crack and see how quickly do they respond. And we make up all sorts of difficult things for them to try and resolve. So, yep, they do help, guys. So please make sure you do the demo. So tonight, if you know you're doing this app, go and see if you download it, if you can register. If it does allow your email address from UNISA, the My Life one, that means your license has been assigned. Please go do the demo. So I'm going to quickly show you because I know I need to show you this as well. So when you go to the basic skills for online exams, guys, just remember, follow the lessons because it all builds on each other. There you will see the Invigilating app option. So there's Moodle proctoring, there's Invigilating app, and there's Iris, which we're still going to cover. So once I click on it, I'm just going to speed along a little bit. I don't want the page to take forever to open. There's the Invigilating app. There's the little L, your best friend. You can go read through all the requirements over here, guys. So it's also important, like checking your modules, the demo exam, what you do on the day of the exam. You can read through that. 2 devices, guys. How does that all work? Although we've just covered it, but there you can see it as well. Then right at the bottom, you're going to see there's the practice exam. Right, this is the critical one. Go and do this demo. So once you open it, just to show you guys, you will see the QR code over here. So you'll see take home exam. You'll just click on it. You might just need to click on continue the very first time, just so that the system will register you that you're on the course site itself. So you just click on it. There we go. Okay, then so we give you a basic one just to go and practice that you can go do. And then you'll see there's the QR code itself, guys. So please, you can use this demo, go and do this exam. So as you'll see that I've already done the exam. So there it is. but you'll be able to download your file here and also upload your answer here, exactly like you would have done in your assignments anyway. So go and try this out. I must just remove mine so I can do it again, so that you guys get a real feel of how exactly this invigilating app is going to work. Remember, you're testing the device to make sure the device is going to do everything you need it to do. Also, guys, if you have a problem with your device, you're absolutely most welcome to use another device. But please just make sure you do the demo to make sure the device is working perfectly. Okay, it's going to take a while to delete. All right, so that covers the invigilating app. So now we're going to hand back to Richard, who's going to then tackle Iris. Although Richard's still munching, so yeah. So just to remind you guys, Iris is going to be working with CSET students and CTA. It only runs on your laptop or your desktop. So this one does not work on your smartphone. So it's kind of the opposite to the invigilating app. So I'm just going to mute from my side and then Richard's going to continue.
Richard, just one last thing before we get to.
I'm back. So now we're going to get to Iris. So I just want to see all the engineers, the scientists, the mathematicians, the computer scientists, just to raise your hand so we can see how many of you are today in this session. So Iris invigilation, as we mentioned, is used by the College of Science, Engineering and Technology. Now, very interesting about this one, you're lucky on the one hand because you only use one proctoring tool. So you know you're only going to learn this one. You're going to use it for both, how can I say, take-home and MCQ examinations. But on the other hand, you're also very unlucky because this one works only on a desktop or laptop. It records your screen, it records your video, it tracks your eye movement. So yeah, they probably know you're the smartest guys out there, so they made it very, very strict. So we're going to look at how to set it up and then how it works. Now, just remember, with this one, you do need Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome. It only works on those two browsers. There is a mobile version of Iris, but UNISA only uses the desktop or laptop version. And then remember, your device that you're using does need a working microphone and camera. So if you have a desktop device, you will need to buy a webcam for that device. Now, on the section, so we are currently on the Iris invigilation section. I'll share the direct link in the chat. Don't know why. There we go. Teams is very busy, but yeah. So the direct link to the Iris invigilation proctoring information is directly on there. Now we've got our Iris setup instructions on here, but what I really recommend is going to this official Iris website. Now remember, Iris is also a third-party tool that is basically where UNISA subscribes to. And they actually created a page specifically for UNISA students. So I'm going to paste that link in the chat as well if you want to open it up. And on this page, you can see it uses Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge. And you can click on these icons depending on which one you use, and it will take you to the extensions page. It also has the latest installation instructions for both Windows and Mac. So yes, you can use an Apple device as well. And very importantly, look at the minimum requirements that it has, and then also on the I can say frequently asked questions. So here, for instance, they've got the minimum requirements. They actually recommend 8 GB plus. Now I know a lot of the laptops that's especially freely provided is usually 4 GB. So in that case, you will have a lot better experience if you can actually rent or borrow one from somebody just to do your examination. You don't need a lot of hard drive space, just about 200 megabytes. And as we mentioned, the latest Chrome or Edge. Now, very interesting, yesterday with the previous workshop, I accidentally blocked my camera. And here, if you actually just come and click on camera, where is this camera? Not recognized. So you can actually go here. Iris does not recognize my microphone or webcam. They give you the instructions for both Edge and Chrome on how to fix it very, very quickly. So you actually need to go to settings and from there set to allow the camera again, because it is an extension. You can't just do it directly from the web page. So I'm just quickly going to go onto the mock exam as well, or first show you how to install it. So I'm just quickly, where did I put that web page now? There we go. So as I mentioned, from the official Iris website, to install it, it's very easy. You click on the icon of the browser you're using. So I'm using Microsoft Edge because I'm not stuck in the past like David. It's still on Chrome, and I like my free RAM that I use on my laptop, and I actually need it with this old laptop. And it will take you directly to the extensions download, and all you need to do is click on Get. So you just click on Get, and it will install it for you automatically. Now, I recommend this route. If you go to the Google store or you go to the Microsoft store and you, how can I say, just search for Iris. Iris makes you think of eyes. Then suddenly you get an eye testing kit, all of those weird tools. So always make sure it is by Iris Invigilation and it's got this icon. So from here, once you click add, you just click on add extension. And you'll notice here the little puzzle piece for extensions is turning, as it's now basically downloading the extension, and then it's part of your browser. Now, you might have noticed when it popped up that it does require access to view and edit content on your web page. We've had students that are privacy concerned, and what I recommend in that case is install it when you're going to write your exam and remove it after your examination. The reason why it does need access to the page is for quiz MCQ assessments where it needs to insert the password. So yes, so if you've got that concern, remember it's very easy to add and to remove. So yeah, I've got Iris is now installed. I can view the extension and you'll see the Iris is there. And to remove it, all I need to click is on these 3 dots next to it, and I can remove it from my browser. And you can always make sure it is there by just click on the little puzzle piece that represents extensions, and you will have the Iris icon on there. So now I've got it installed. How does it now actually work? There's no other further setup required beforehand. You'll have to go through the setup process with each assessment. So I'm going to open up the Iris proctoring mock exam. I'll actually put this link in the chat as well. Remember, just with this one, just with like the other ones, you just need to click on Enroll Me, and then you will have access. Now you'll notice on this one, we've got 2 types. It's a Iris file upload assessment and the Iris MCQ assessment. So if I go Iris file upload assessment to test this one out, it will load, and it works a lot like the other take-home assessments. So on the day of your exams, you can actually access it 15 minutes before it starts. So remember, if your exam starts at 10 o'clock, 9:45, you go to the myExams, you refresh the page, and it will be open, so you can actually access it and make your Iris setup, and then also, how can I say, download your question paper and have a look at what kind of type of questions you're going to get. Now, as you can see, the pop-up came up here. Very importantly, click on Allow. Mine the other day popped up so quickly, I accidentally clicked on Block. And then you have to go to the frequently asked questions and just follow the instructions to allow it again. So I'll click Allow, and now it will pop up to allow the microphone as well. So remember, you do need the 2. You have to allow camera and you have to allow your microphone. So I'll click on Allow, and then it will give you this user agreement. So you'll notice I can't click Continue. I'll have to click on Agree to the terms and conditions, but you do not have to consent for use of data for research purposes. So just click the first one and select continue. Now, we get this question a lot. I know the IT guys, especially even engineers, we like the multiple monitors because it increases your productivity so much. But unfortunately, you can't use 2 screens. That's why I left this on to really show you this is where you will get blocked. So what do you do in this case? This is where you can close Iris because you will need to restart it. And then you unplug your one monitor, or you set your Windows to only use the PC screen. So I'm just quickly going to reshare my screen with you. Let me just grab this one here to share again. So we've got now the one monitor that we are working on. So now if I go back to the assessment, let me just open the correct browser here. There we go. Now that I'm back here, all I need to do is refresh this page and Iris will pop up again. So I'm just waiting for it to refresh. So once it refreshes, Iris will reactivate and pop up, as you can see over here. So what I can do from here now is continue with the setup process. So just wait for it to finish loading. So again, I'll need to agree to the terms and conditions. I can continue. It's going to ask me to select the webcam. So it's the integrated webcam, even though it picked up the correct one already, but you might have multiple cameras. You'll have to select the microphone as well. Once you select the correct microphone, you will actually see a little bar next to it. So I'm just going to see here quickly this one. Let's test this one, a green bar next to it. Oh, here we go. Let's test this mic. You should see actually a green bar over here to show that it's actually picking up. Right now, please select the audio feed. I just want to see a default, yeah, stereo mix. Don't know why mine doesn't want to show the nice green bars there. But then you type in your name. So that's as per your registration. And then you click next, or full name. So it's Richard and your surname. Click next, your student number. So your student number as per your registration. Now, very importantly, it's going to ask you to capture an ID card. So remember, this can be, as with the Invigilator app, your actual ID, passport, or your driver's license. All you need to do is you click on this capture ID card, you bring it up to the camera. So if you have a student card, you can use this as well because it's got photo identification. You capture the card and then you can click next. Now you have to do a room scan. Very importantly, 360. So I'm going to start the room scan now, but I won't go all the way around so you don't see David eating on his food over here. And then I'll say stop scan after that. So you'll notice it will show you there. So all you need to do is, if you've got a webcam, you can even take it off the device and just show around the venue. I'll just take your laptop and just turn it, I'm going to say opposite way around, turn around so it captures the environment in which you will be writing. Now, lastly, it will bring up this message, share your screen. Now, the reason why this comes up, because this is where most people get stuck. So as I mentioned already, you can only have one monitor to connect it. But even though you only have one monitor, you have to click on it to share it. I'm quickly going to click OK over here. And then I'm going to select share screen. Now you'll notice here I can't share. I need to click on it first and then click on share. And then I can go next. Now I can click start assessment. So if this is a take-home assessment, what you do at this time is you close this down, you go back, you download your question paper that's on the same page. You open up the question paper, you complete all the questions either in a Word document. Sometimes you get an Excel document you need to complete it in, or maybe if you do a lot of calculations, they say it must be handwritten. So this one is luckily very easy. You must just explain what is online examinations at UNISA, and so then you have to submit it. At this time, you open up Word, type out all the questions. You'll have to monitor your time, because remember, you only get that 30 minutes additional time to submit on myExams. It's not for writing, it's just for submission. So what you do is when your time is up, so I've written now from 10 to 12. So now I'm done. I save it as a PDF. I come back to myExams. You might need to log in again, as it might have logged out automatically, but that's not a problem as long as Iris is still running on your computer. So at this time you go add submission. And this is exactly like a normal assignment type of submission. So generally they do allow for different file types such as Word or PDF. To be the safest, always use rather a PDF because that is the generally accepted version for a module. But if you're unsure, you can always ask your academic which ones will be allowed. So yeah, you have to acknowledge that this is your own work. You will see there's only one file that you can submit and there is a file size limit, but usually the file size limit is quite big, so you don't need to worry how big the file is. But if you need to compress the PDF, there are free tools like I Love PDF where you can compress it. So yeah, I'm going to click on add file. Now just remember, if you accidentally click on one of these other ones, icons next to it, it will not give you that upload file that you're familiar with. But just always click back here on upload a file, and this will allow you to select the file from your device to submit. So here on your device, depending on if you Mac OS, might be a bit different, but as you go to where you actually saved your file on your device, I'm just going to click here, myExams. I've got an example PDF over here. Now, the reason why I'm uploading the example PDF is because only PDF is allowed for this mock exam. You'll notice here at the bottom, PDF. So now I can go and I select Save Changes. So here you basically wait for your submission just to be submitted. While this is even still loading, you can now go back to Iris and then you can say finish recording. So you click on this finish recording. You slide this bar over to say that you want to finish. This is just the mechanism so you can't do it accidentally. And then you click on yes. And then it will start the upload. Now this process can run in the background. You can minimize it. But you'll notice actually it will give you the information what's it uploading. It's uploading the audio, it's uploading the video, the desktop capture, the motion tracking. All of that information is now being uploaded to Iris for analysis. So this can sometimes take a little bit while. So you just leave this open until you get the green tick that it has been submitted successfully. So you'll notice here it's busy now uploading audio file. So that means it's still here quite at the beginning. So we'll just give that some time. So while this is running, you'll also notice there it's you have one outstanding session. You can force the upload. You know, if it feels like, okay, wait, now it's been stuck on this upload audio for ages. You can always click on force upload to make sure it is uploaded successfully. But what I do recommend is because you got 30 minutes, once you submit it on myExams, click on the file that you submitted. Make sure it is the correct file that you have uploaded. You know, a lot of times in the haste of the exams, you perhaps saved it as the module code. you look for a file, PDF with the module code, you upload it, and then when you come look here, it might be the tutorial letter or something else that you've done. And they get a lot of submissions of tutorial letters. So always just come back, make sure it is the correct file that you have wanted to submit. And then we can look back at Invigilator or Iris. As you can see, we've got a green tick. And now it means everything has been submitted successfully. You will get an email verification confirmation as well, and then you can close it. So Iris is generally very easy to use. It's only the, getting the extension, going through that setup process. Now, one thing I just want to highlight quickly, MCQs requires a password. Now, the password is not given to you. It's actually auto-populated by Iris. So if you're going to be doing the Iris invigilation, come and test, especially with MCQs, make sure that everything is working. I'm just quickly going to go through these settings here. Be a setting. There we go. Okay, capture ID, next. So basically the same setup that you will do for MCQs. Share screen. I just want to show you the one difference. So I'm going to start assessment. So now I can continue to attempt the quiz. I'll see here quiz password. Now there it's auto-populated, as you can see, automatically by Iris. So I just click on start attempt from here. You will not get a quiz password. That's to make sure that your Iris is working. It will auto-populate this quiz password. If it does not, you can go back to Iris and then click on insert password, and it will attempt to insert the password again. So that's the only difference when it comes to between the take home and then the MCQ regarding Iris. Quickly want to pop back my monitor here. Now let's have a look on how do you actually access the myExams portal. So I'm just going to finish this one as well. We did a very, very quick quiz at the moment. So I'm just going to close that down as well, and then just reshare the correct screen over here. Okay, once it comes back to respond. Okay, there we go. So as we mentioned before, you do not submit on myMoodles. You actually do go to a website that's dedicated to examinations. And I'm going to show you here from the beginning, how do you access it? So the first place is to visit myUnisa. So you go to myUnisa, that you usually go to log into myModules, but as you notice, you do not even need to log into myModules. What you do is you scroll down here to important links and then click on myExams. Now the myExams portal will give you a list of, how to say, dates. And then if you select a date, so say I click on the 7th, that was today, it will list all the modules that was written today. So what you do is you click on the myExams link first on myUnisa. You select the date that you can only select up to 6 days in advance. So what I suggest is if you're going to be writing in 6 days, come click on the date and then see if you can log into the site to make sure everything is working. Now, very importantly, you can't just randomly select any module. These module links go to different college instances. So you have to select the one where you are registered. So for instance, if you're in the College of Science, Engineering, Technology, you'll notice if you click on its Iris, it will actually open up a link where it's actually got the college shortcode in there. I'm just waiting for this one to pop up. Now, as I mentioned, you will need to sign in. That's why it's so important, like that even on the practice side, that you are able to sign in with your credentials, because you will be asked again to sign in on the myExams portal. Once you've accessed it, you'll notice your profile picture does not display here. That's not a mistake. That's how it should be. It should only be on my modules. On the top, instead of my modules, it will say myExams. From the dropdown, you select the module you'll be writing, and that will open up that specific module's exam page. I just quickly want to applying this one presentation here. So that's why I say come and do this 7 days in advance. You will be able to log in. You'll be able to see the list of modules you've got access to, even though you will not necessarily be able to access the actual quiz or MCQ. That will be locked, but you will be able to actually access where it's being written. So I just want to show you, for instance, on this slide over here, what does this actually look like for a specific course? So if we select this one, let's go down. Here we go. So if we look at this specific slide, you'll notice you select your module. So very importantly, what you do is you first select your module from the dropdown, and this is the page that will open. So this is what you can access before the examination. Obviously, this one that's now to do with where you access the actual exam, where it's a MCQ or a take-home, that will still be locked. And that's why I say, even with the take-home, you log in now, say 15 minutes beforehand, say it's still locked, wait another minute, refresh the page, and then it should be unlocked so you can access it. Obviously, you can do this even a week before, but it won't unlock for you. But at least you know exactly how to get to the specific assessment. So that's how easy it is really to access the myExams portal. What I also want to highlight on the myExams portal before we get to the support section is, if I open up this page over here, is on the myExams, where you select your modules, you'll notice here actually is exam contact details. So I'll actually share this link as well. So this is the official exam contact details. So you notice the exam inquiries. They've even got for different colleges as well. And this is very important because on the day of your exam, these addresses are being, how can I say, manned the most. So even when you do the contact center, you must select the correct option because the other options are not taking priority. So it's very important that you have the correct information. So now I will hand over back to David just to quickly go through the support that's available in regions. And then also I think we've got Cornelia here that will cover her section. Thank you, David.
All right, thanks,
Richard.
Glad
I wasn't eating at the minute. Okay, so yes, guys, so it's very important to remember that in the regions, we had quite a few students asking us, where can I get help? Where can I see someone face to face, right? Which makes sense. I mean, especially if it's your first time. So please go and visit the regions where the computer labs are. There's normally a person called a digital learning advisor. That is the person that will very much know how exactly all technology works, how to set up, to test your laptop or your smartphone, to give you advice. Especially in a situation where you might be struggling with having a laptop or Iris, for example. I mean, that's a reality, guys. So go and see them. Also go visit your SRC just to see if there's someone that can maybe be able to assist you. If you've never been to your regional campus, what you can do is you can go to myUNISA, the same place where you log in. You'll go under student support. You'll see it's the very first option. It's actually second options, repeat, regional centers. And when I go click on it, then you will see that this is basically the whole South African map, including Ethiopia, guys, because that's our neighbors up there in the north. It's also part of us. So Eastern Cape, yes, Western Cape, easy. Then you've got Gauteng, you all know that one. Midlands, guys, is your Northern Cape, it is your Northwest, and it's your Free State. So it's those three provinces, we call it the Midlands. Northeastern is your Limpopo, where all the good soccer teams play, and then Mpumalanga side as well. So there we go. So that's Northeastern region. So for any of them, if you go click on it, you will see that there is the Contact Us page that you can quickly go see where are these centers located. So it's easy enough to go and find them. So this is really, really critical. Now I'm going to hand over to Cornelia, who's going to speak to you about the SESC, the Student Support Contact Center, where they can also assist you with exam times and how to get hold of them. So over to you, Cornelia.
Thank you, David. Good morning. Good evening, students and colleagues. My name is Kwanele. I am from the Student Communication Service Center, referred to as a contact center. I will be sharing with you on how you can communicate with the university during this period, which is exam period. So we have about 5 entry points, and for the telephone platform, you can call us using 0800 00 1870 for national students. And please ensure, students, that you choose option 4 because other options are not a priority during this period. So we have enough consultants behind option 4 so that you can be assisted. For our international students, you can call us using 012 429 3111 and choose option 4 for your exam related inquiries. We also have the general inquiries email address. We have data inquiries as well for students who haven't received data. Remember, we said we are offering data for exam period. So if you haven't, kindly email us. We'll be able to assist you. We have my module support, which is my module 2022 at unisa.ac.za. We have this important one, which is exam inquiries at unisa.ac.za. So during this period, this email address is important. So is the option 4 on the list of the telephone platform. And then we have MFA inquiries. It is also important. If you change your contact details, you need to communicate with the institution, because if you do not, you will not be able to write your examination. We also have social chats via the corporate page, which we have live warm bodies rather behind that option. So if you are experiencing any challenges with your exam, you are most welcome to communicate with us via web chat. And then when you communicate with the university, please ensure that your student number and full description of your challenge, the module code, and if possible, attach the print screen of the error so that we are able to assist you promptly. We also have an escalation process where we use when we are unable to resolve your inquiry within our space. But in terms of the proctoring tools, we are able to assist you. If you are unable to access your exam, we are here to assist you. So those inquiries that we are unable to assist you with, we escalate them to the supervisor. We also have a manager in Florida campus and Pretoria. We also have a deputy director, which we hardly reach because we are able to resolve inquiries within our space. Most of the time, the inquiries that we receive within the department, it is IRIS-related inquiries. So please, students for College of Science, Engineering and Technology, kindly practice so that you are able to excel in that proctoring tool. I spoke about the live chatbot. It is down there on your far right. You can chat with us live using that option. The issue of MFA, when you change your contact details, or when you change a device or lose your device, you need to communicate with the institution so that we are able to assist you. So the process is, you need to fill the form, send it back to us with your copy of an ID. The form is called DSAR number 3. You fill that form, you send it back to the institution. We are able to change your contact details. During this period, it is advisable that after sending the form, you will receive a case number that will start with a hash. So when you receive that case number, kindly give us a call immediately so that we are able to change it for you. This can be done via the 0800 number, the 012 number, or you can chat with us. We'll be able to assist you. You can send the form to mymodules 2022 or inquire@unisa.ac.za, because you are able to download this form without communicating with us. So my advice is download the form, populate the form, send it together with your ID, receive that case number, then give us a call so that we are able to assist you. And that's it from my side. Thank you for your attention. All the best with your exam. Thank you, David.
Let me quickly take over here. So yes, thank you, Cornelia, and thank you for being so active to the chat. So you know Cornelia is actually working there. She's one of those that will be able to assist you. Now, just the last. Now, one thing about UNISA, it's not necessarily ability when you register or apply, but if you want to have examinations, apply to examinations, you do need to apply for that in advance to the exams. And you have to do it every year because your conditions deteriorate over time. That's why you need to do it every single year. So on the page, we've got the contact details. I'll post it in the chat as well. But please note, as we mentioned, this is something that you need to apply for every year, and you will then get exemption in a lot of cases for proctoring tools. Because, for instance, before the others get very glad and thinking, why do they get, not to have proctoring tools? Is because, some people might not be able to hear, so they won't be able to hear the notifications from the Invigilator app. And so there's a lot of different cases, and I do take it by case status. So I will post in the chat the contact information, but then I really want to say thank you, everybody. I have posted the post assessment also in the how can I say, in the chat. So please do that, because you will see already if you did the first one, or the knowledge you've gained over this session. And then I also want to highlight quickly, tomorrow night, we will send you an SMS update again for the session that we will be having with Microsoft. So if you go to myExams, or not myExams, sorry, let me open up My Student Skills Hub. Oh, looks like I closed it already, but let me just get back there quick. If you go to My Student Skills Hub, under co-curricular activities, because remember, all of these that we are doing are co-curricular activities, something that you can get recognition for as well. But remember, to access this co-curricular activities, you need to be a UNISA student and you need to be logged in. But I just want to highlight that tomorrow evening we have the Microsoft session. The Microsoft session is broadcast or done by Microsoft, and they will actually show you how you could use AI tools such as Copilot to actually help you to study and to learn materials a lot quicker. So please come and join the session. It's only going to be about an hour. I will post in the chat the link as well, so that if you want to book for that session, you can do so. And then we will then tomorrow send you a link reminder as well, so that you can easily join the session. So we're all looking forward to see how AI can actually help us with our studying for the exams. And as mentioned, I will post the Oxford information as well. So if you want to apply for special examinations, the information is there. But with that, I want to say then good luck, everybody, with your exams. It's around the corner. I hope you're hard at studying. Please go do the mock exams as quickly as possible, so you can get this headache of this technical, things that you have to do out of the way. And then we will also have another workshop later or next week. And we will also have a blast session. So if you're still having doubts next week, come and join the other workshop. We'll have the blast session where you can unmute your microphone, tell us what you're struggling with. We make that activity where students can help each other as well, so that you really know you've got everything covered as you go into your exams. But good luck, everybody. We will see you again. All the best with your studies. Goodbye.